Welcome into the Commanders Report. I am your host, Jack Sperry. On today's show, we're going to be talking quarterbacks. That's right. I'm going to be breaking down the games of both Sam Howell and Jacoby Brissett, tell you why you should be optimistic about the Washington Commanders quarterback room heading into 2023. I think this room is getting slept on a little bit, and I'm going to let you know why here in just a second. But first, make sure you click that subscribe button and turn on your notifications because we have brand new in-depth Commanders videos here on YouTube 4 to 5 times a week. We try to take care of you guys with a nice video every other day or so. So make sure you click that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and if you want daily Commanders videos, my bosses are telling me if we can get enough subscribers here, we can ramp that up to 7 videos per week. All right, so now let's get into my scouting report for Sam Howell back when he was coming out of the University of North Carolina, and the stuff that I liked versus the stuff I didn't like so much. And then I'll go into some of the steps that he's starting to take now as he enters his second year in the National Football League. So the stuff that I liked coming out, he obviously has a very strong arm. I think his arm strength actually is a bit undervalued. I think it's a bit underrated. He's got a cannon. I mean, last year versus the Cowboys, he had a 50-yard pass put on a dime. That shows you the arm strength that he has. He is also a really great scrambler. He's somebody that is really slippery when he gets outside of the pocket, and he's somebody who's not afraid to take the ball himself and get that first down on those 3rd and 6s, those 3rd and 7s. He's not afraid to lower the shoulder either, and I love that competitive toughness that he has. He has the mentality that you look for in your number one quarterback in the National Football League. He's the type of guy that people want to play for and play with, and I really, really like his game in that regard. So when you look at Howell's film in college, the highs were incredibly high. You know, you'd see like a 50-yard dime with perfect touch down the field. The game against South Carolina in his final season with the Tar Heels was one of the best games I have seen out of a college prospect, period. He was just putting dime after dime after dime. However, the consistency just wasn't there on his film, which is why he ended up slipping there to the 5th round to the Commanders. And there's just a ton of inconsistencies in his game. Some of the stuff that really concerned me coming out, if I'm being honest here, the inconsistent footwork. He just didn't really know how to sync his feet with his hips and all these different things that you want a quarterback to do so they can just pull the trigger. And the faulty mechanics here, you know, he's very much a push thrower, or at least he was back in college. It really led to some inconsistent accuracy issues where he could really put a ball on a dime, but then the next throw he's going to be way overthrowing somebody, and the consistency was not there from the accuracy standpoint, and that came from those faulty mechanics. And he didn't like throwing checkdowns either. He was massively aggressive. And if he wasn't throwing the ball down the field, he was putting his eyes down and he was trying to scramble. Didn't really love the pocket presence either. If his first 2 reads weren't really there, he didn't really shift in the pocket. He pretty much just kind of put his eyes down and tried to play hero ball and try to run with the football, which isn't a really sustainable way to play quarterback in the National Football League. So because of that stuff, I had a 3rd round grade on Sam Howell coming out of the University of North Carolina. He's somebody with the tools, somebody that had the mentality. It was really just going to be a matter of would the team that drafted him be able to kind of convert him and kind of get him over some of those inconsistencies in his game. He played in 1 game last year with the Washington Commanders, and as you can see there, they kind of played it kind of vanilla there. Lots of throws to his right, lots of short throws. He did have that dime down the field, 50-plus yards down the field for Howell. That was an awesome touchdown there for the Washington Commanders, but he had that really bad interception in the red zone, actually in the end zone, I should say. And you know, he still had some of those throwing mechanics issues that I saw in his college film, where he's kind of more of a push thrower, not a rotational thrower that you see from guys like Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers. They're very rotational passers, and it really leads to better accuracy consistency. If you're a push thrower and you don't really use your hips, it's really tough to be accurate on a consistent basis. But I am overall optimistic about how going into this season. I'm going to be telling you why here in just a second, but let me know right now, are you a believer in Sam Howell? Do you believe in him? Type B if you believe in him, or type D if you don't. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show, so whenever you get an ad break here, just do me a favor, go down into the comment section, find that pinned comment, and answer today's question. So the first reason to be optimistic about Howell here is that he won over the staff last year. I mean, they liked him enough. They saw enough from him in game and in practice last year where they're like, we're going to bring this guy back as our starting quarterback for 2023. I mean, you look at the numbers, I mean, less than 60% completion percentage. The numbers don't wow you, right? That game against the Dallas Cowboys, they played lots of vanilla coverages. They weren't trying to give anything away for their playoff run that would eventually end in the divisional round. But, you know, you look at Sam Howell and how he did, it's like, really, we're not going to go out and get another quarterback, but I think that he showed enough in practice, he showed enough in games, and he's shown that he can really command this locker room. I think that's something Ron Rivera likes, something that Eric Bienemy likes, and that's something that I like. So I really like his mentality as well. Sam Howell is the type of guy that people want to play for, plain and simply. He is the alpha in that locker room. No question about it. He is the undeniable leader, which is really interesting because he's a fifth-round, second-year quarterback that's only played one game, and you can tell these guys respect this guy. These guys really rally around Sam Howell, and that's something that I really, really like to see. And I also like that he's the type of dog that's going to be able to go out there, kind of like a Taylor Heineke, only he's got a stronger arm. He's a much better scrambler, in my opinion. He's more physically gifted than Taylor Heineke, but he's still got that dog mentality where he's going to do whatever it takes to get the W. And that's the type of guy people want to play for. And then finally, probably the biggest reason why I'm optimistic about Howell this year is that he has completely revamped his throwing mechanics. Before, like I said, he was more of a push thrower. It was mostly arm. He didn't really use his hips. He wasn't rotational, which is what you see from the best passers in the National Football League today. Now, I've been seeing some of the film that's been coming out of Commanders practice and OTAs, and I've been seeing his throwing mechanics. It is way cleaner, right? He's finishing out onto the side of his body, which is something that you look for with the finish and the follow through. He's doing some really nice stuff. He's keeping his shoulders level. Before, he would really tilt his shoulders when he throws. Really not a good sign if you're tilting your shoulders. And it really does look like he's put in the work this offseason. And now, because he's got the arm strength, he's got the physical tools to make it happen, and I think he's got the competitive toughness to be a really good quarterback in this league. Now you pair that with the technical proficiency, the footwork, the throwing mechanics, all of those nuances that you need to be consistent at the NFL level. It's looking like he's taking those steps, which is why I'm optimistic about Sam Howell heading into 2023. If you're optimistic as well, make sure that you go ahead and click that thumbs up icon and like today's video. It's a free and easy way to help out the channel because you pretty much tell the YouTube algorithm that you enjoy our videos and that they should push our videos out to other Commanders fans. But if Sam Howell does not work out, I'm saying if he doesn't work out this season, you have Jacoby Brissett waiting in the wings. And I think Jacoby Brissett, when it comes to backup quarterbacks in the National Football League, it's like he is somebody that you really want in the lineup. Okay, he's somebody that is a really, really great plan B when it comes to the quarterback position. He's one of the best backups. I think he's probably even a low-end starter, at least if you believe the numbers on Jacoby Brissett. He consistently grades pretty darn high among NFL quarterbacks. And, you know, he's not a super remarkable physical talent or anything like that, but Jacoby Brissett is somebody that is a very valuable player when it comes to NFL standards. In 2021, the Miami Dolphins offense was a mess, but the wins above average per game when Jacoby Brissett was in the lineup, 0.113, which is good for 17th in the National Football League. That's an average NFL starter. And then last year with the Cleveland Browns, he was at 0.133, which was 14th, which is slightly above average when it comes to wins above replacement per game. For example there, that just shows you how valuable this guy is per game. And he's somebody that's not going to be like a Patrick Mahomes. He's not going to be an Aaron Rodgers. He's not somebody that's going to blow you away in terms of physical talent. But he's somebody that is a solid veteran that reads defenses extremely well. He plays with good footwork and good throwing mechanics. And he's got a good enough arm to be a starter in the National Football League. If Sam Howell doesn't work out with all the great defensive pieces that the Commanders have coming in this season, you got some great weapons in Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson and the like. You should have a pretty decent run game, and you got an awesome offensive coordinator in Eric Bienemy. I personally think if Brissett is forced into that role and Sam Howell just stinks or he gets hurt or whatever, I think Brissett is good enough to get this team to the playoffs in kind of a weaker NFC conference this year. Maybe I'm being too optimistic here. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comment section. Could Jacoby Brissett, if called upon, get the Washington Commanders to the playoffs. I actually think he probably could, especially if that offensive line holds up this year. But let me know what you guys think by giving me a yes or no in the comment section. That's going to be it for me today, guys. I really do appreciate all of the support. Make sure you go ahead and click that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications because we're going to have another video for you guys here on the channel tomorrow.